This screencast will cover the map that is the United States circa 1800. So this is the map that we're talking about that you should have in your possession. And so there are various things that you were supposed to identify: bodies of water, rivers, cities, states, territories, and other locations of land claims by other countries. So this is the United States as it was of 1800 generally. So that's what you're seeing here. Now, in the West, you'll have areas that are territories up here. But in general, this is the United States as of 1800. So if we look to our sheet, the very first thing that they ask you to do is to identify up here the bodies of water. So let's go to the next screen. Here you can sort of see I've already labeled the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Gulf of Mexico. So please make sure that yours is labeled, and then those areas are supposed to be colored as well, light blue. The next section that you need to identify would be the Great Lakes. And yes, I do want you to know them by their names. So here they are. So Lake Superior, largest, deepest of the lakes. Lake Michigan, the only lake that is completely within inside the United States itself. The other ones we share a border with Canada. So we have Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. So stop the video at any time to make sure that you have all these locations. The next one are the rivers. And so what I've done on this next picture is to show you the various rivers. So here are the three main ones. So the first one we'll do is the mighty Mississippi. So basically that's this whole thing all the way down. Okay, so make sure that it stands out nice and dark blue, I believe is what they ask you to do on the form. So there's the Mississippi. Next would be the Missouri. That's over here, the one that we discussed with Lewis and Clark. So make sure that that is labeled all along the route, understanding this is the Missouri, not west of it. Okay, so this is the Missouri as it floods down into here into the Mississippi. And finally then we have the Ohio. Okay, Ohio right here, starting in Pittsburgh and then coming all the way down and flowing again into the Mississippi. So the Missouri and the Ohio are tributaries to the Mississippi River. Picking up, I am not going to go over all of the states. You guys have already done the 13 original colonies that become the 13 states, and then you just have the additional ones here of Vermont that's been added in, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So let's jump over here and let's make sure that you have your cities in the correct location. So what I've done is I've done basically 2 or 3 per screenshot. So let's take the first one here. So let's put the dots there from Washington, D.C. and St. Louis. So stop the recording, approximate where it is on the map, put a nice, I used yellow because it shows up nice, but you can use black or dark blue, and make sure that the arrow points to the general location. Adding on to that, we'll then go to this one here, which would be New York City. Okay. And as we continue, that would be Pittsburgh. Okay. This one, Cincinnati. And then down here would be New Orleans. Some of us had labeled New Orleans and actually located it here. No, that would be Florida. So make sure you have it in the right location on the Mississippi River down here. And then of course Philadelphia. And that is where we end with the cities. Now all of the states, as the instruction for number 5, I believe goes, all of this should all be colored the same color. All the states, okay? Down through here. Now, what is not going to be colored would be here. You're going to color this and these 2 territories a different color, but the same. So let's do this. Here we go. Canada with Britain. So let's go to the next screen. Obviously, this is it right here. So make sure that you have it clearly labeled. Next, Louisiana, the French territory that was sold to us. And then finally, Spanish Florida down there. Last part, right down here with number 7. The Northwest are the Ohio Territory, Indiana Territory, and then Mississippi. So let's take a look at it. So these are the territories we're talking about. You can sort of see how they're divided. So it should go like this. This is Ohio, Indiana, and Mississippi. Okay, so make sure you have those all colored a different color than these states so it stands out. If there are any questions, let me know.